What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Reading Between the Wines. How you doing out there on Instagram? What's going on? I see my cousin out there. It's Wine Down Wednesday. It's Wine Wednesday. Can y'all believe it that it's Wednesday already? It's crazy to me. This whole week is just insane for me. I gotta pinch myself sometimes and say, is this really reality? Is this real? Come on in, welcome in, please. Like, comment, share, tag your friends. Let them know what we got going on inside Reading Between the Wines tonight. We are going to Brooklyn, New York. My friend, my brother is coming in the building tonight, Mr. Nate Perry. And I don't know about y'all, but I just can't help it. Sometimes it's just real. We just get deep. And I just had a quick conversation with him right before we getting started here. And yeah, we getting ready to continue it. So I'm sipping on some French Fizz Le Rosé. Got some rosé tonight from France. Fresh and fruity. Be feeling real fresh tonight. All right, y'all. Speaking of having fun, feeling fresh, I need to take it back. It was her birthday a couple days ago, Miss Janet Jackson. You know, when you think of France, when you think of love, the one song that comes to mind from her is Funny How Time Flies When You're Having Fun. I believe that she's even speaking some French in that song. I don't know, but that's what I think she is. Anybody who knows, let me know. Hit me up, let me know. But Funny How Time Flies When You're Having Fun. Janet Jackson off of the Control album 1986. Definitely will get you feeling a certain way. If you're feeling in that mode, you're feeling in that love mode, you're feeling in that, you know, what goes on in that song. I want to say thank you so much to everybody who continues to support people out there on Facebook. Y'all definitely continue to show up and support, and I want to say thank you so much. Last night, Instagram was so on fire last night, and I appreciate everyone for coming through. Twitter, people out there, please go ahead and check me out on YouTube as well. Enjoy the experience there. Please subscribe. I really would appreciate that. Let's run things up. And last night we had a great show. It was really like eye-opening. It was shocking. It was therapeutic in so many different ways. We had Abdu come on from Dubai, and this was a 30-year-old man that no one has ever sung happy birthday to him, but for the first time when he was 30 years old, which was his birthday was yesterday. So can you imagine? When I heard that, I was actually thrown back by it. Just think about yourself. Think about how we get all into our feelings when somebody don't even wish us a happy birthday, when somebody don't even, drop by and say what's going on. This man went through his entire life. And yesterday at 30 years old was the first time that somebody said happy birthday and got him a cake. So you can imagine the emotions and the feeling that he was going through. Like, we get conditioned to it from day one. Most of us who go through that tradition every single year, and you got all these people staring at you from the time you're 1 year old all the way up until, so you become conditioned to it. Just imagine the first time that someone ever said happy birthday or celebrated you or smiled and said, hey, I'm celebrating you, is when you turn 30 years old. What a amazing experience that was last night. I strongly urge you to go ahead and watch that replay and check that out. That was interesting. Mr. Jason T. Davis, all the way from California, thank you so much. I'm so thankful to be doing this, still here, continuously doing this. And this is a worldwide experience. We had Dubai. Like I said, we had someone from Jamaica. We have France. We had the Netherlands. I want to say what's up to Misam from Iran. Like, this is like real. Like, this is some mind-blowing situation for me. Like I said, this is a dream sometimes, and I'm like, we really doing it here. So shout out to everybody who continues to support Phoenix, Arizona. I want to say what's up to Adam Bullock. Thank you so much. Virginia, shout out to Virginia. VA, want to say what's up to Neek. Thank you so much for supporting. Char, thank you for coming through. Onyx Blade, Lash, Maverick Essentials, thank you for coming through last night. Tony from YRE Hair Growth, thank you. I appreciate you as well. We also have Korea, thank you for coming through. South Korea, artist Roang, thank you for supporting as well. And Miss Shanti Refuge, thank you for coming through as well. Tonight, we're going to Brooklyn, New York. My friend, my brother, Mr. Nate Perry has some poetry that he wants to share with us tonight on Reading Between the Wines. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and rewind this thing a little bit. Speaking of, listening to Abdu's story last night, sometimes after you're going through so many things in life, there could be a point where you just want to say, I'm done. I want to throw in the towel. I want to give it up. I'm not doing this anymore. But we all know that you can't throw in the towel. You have to keep going. You have to keep pressing on. You got to keep moving on because this is what life is about. This is a game. And how you going to play it? Nobody wants to lose. No one wants to end it. So you got to keep pressing on. You got to keep moving on. But the trick is, what are the things that you do? What steps do you have in place? What rituals do you have in place? What do you do when you feel like throwing in the towel? Last night there was some great, conversation out there as far as what people do. Journaling, that's one thing that I heard last night. Unplugging is another thing that I heard. That's something that I'm a true believer of. Shut out the world. I don't want to hear anything. Sometimes I don't want to hear nobody talking. I don't want to hear any radio. I don't want to hear any TV. I don't want to hear anything. I just shut everything off and keep it quiet and remove myself from the whole situation and take my feelings and everything up out of it. And ask, what are we really doing here? What is the purpose? What is the plan? Do you give up or do you keep pressing on? Some people go into meditation. Some people, they go into vacation mode. They just need to take a break. They need to remove themselves from everything. What do you do? Some people go for walks. Some people need to go into therapy and they need to talk and they need to consult with someone who knows a little bit more than they do at this moment in life. What steps do you take when you feel like throwing in the towel? Now, after you do that, after you get past that, you can't beat yourself up. One thing that I've learned is that you can't beat yourself up when you feel that way. No one's going to walk around feeling like they up here all the time. We high all the time. We ready to do it. We ready to run all the time. People who do that, you're going to burn yourself out really quick by pretty much living a lie. So at the end of the day, you have to allow yourself the opportunity to just hit that reset button. Today was effed up. I messed up today. I was too much into my feelings. I was too much into myself. I was too much into thinking of what you did was hurting me, which is another thing that I'm going to talk about. Because remember, people can't hurt us. The only person that hurts us is us. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what you do, what she says, what he says, what situation presents itself. All of that, you did this to me, you did that, I feel a certain way, I'm hurt up. That's just you allowing your ego to take over. So whenever that happens, I say, you know what? We just gonna hit this reset button. You ain't do nothing to me. I allowed all of those emotions and I allowed all of those feelings to come in and resonate inside of my heart and mess me up for the moment. And I'm no longer doing that. You can't hurt me. The only way you can hurt me is if I allow you to hurt me. You can say whatever you want to say. You can do whatever you want to do. But when I start to put myself into that situation, put myself into you, now I feel a certain way because I put myself into you. I'm my own person. This is my own being right here. This is one. You know what they say when it comes to loving yourself, taking care of yourself first. You start to feel a certain way when you start to not take care of self and start to worry and do and feel and get involved in the things that are outside of you. Take care of you first so that you are whole and that you are close to 100% as you possibly can. So that when those things happen, when life happens, when people happen, when they people show up and do exactly what they're supposed to do is be people, You can't take it personal. Remember, can't nobody hurt you unless you allow them to. Can't nobody make you feel a certain way unless you allow them to. Sometimes we got to get that ego in check and say, listen, why am I feeling this way? I don't care what you do. I don't care what you got going on. I ain't got shit to do with me. One of my best mentors told me that, Laren, you need to stop worrying about that. That right there don't have shit to do with you. That is not you. Is that you? What that person is doing, what that person is doing to themselves, or check this out, what that person is doing to and with other people, is that you? Are you wrapped up into that situation? Is there any way that Laren is in that equation? Or is that something that's going on between 2 and 3 people on the outside of you? Once I started to realize that and started to get myself together, I realized that it's just so true. Only way that I can get hurt up and wrapped up and tangled up and messed up in that is when I put myself in it. Listen, reading between the lines, yo. It's gonna get real deep when my brother comes in the building tonight. So walk and be near the water. Yeah, water is power. Water is life. So that's one of the best things that you could possibly do is to get near some water. I like to hear the sound and I like to watch, the ocean and everything. The movement of water actually does it for me. Um, yeah, that's amazing too. That's a good one there. So we're gonna go ahead and reach out to my brother, Mr. Nate Perry, and see what he does when he feels like throwing in the towel. Because it's life.
Illinois.
What's going on? Welcome to Reading Between the Lines.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? What's up? I don't know what's going on. Aaron, what's going on? How you doing out there? Appreciate you for joining in. Nate, we might gotta call him back. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, and please don't mind that this bottle is like half empty already. We just getting started tonight. Don't mind. We might finish this bottle tonight, depending on how deep the conversation is.
Hello?
What's going on?
Thank you. What's going on, my brother? What's going on?
I was about to say, yo, you need to get your phone in check. We had people, we had people call all over the world. Jamaica. We had someone from Dubai last night. So, and they come in. We had South Korea come in crystal clear. You right there, only about 130 miles away in Brooklyn. Let's get this together here.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying, man.
Well, you sound good and crystal clear, so that's what's up. So now I got to ask you this question here. So, what steps do you take, or what do you do when you feel like throwing in a towel? Because you know it happens to the best of us sometimes.
Um, if I could be honest, I just, I honestly just dig deep. I just dig deep and just remind myself that I can do this. I'm not afraid of failure. I think I've been through too much to
Yeah,
to let something deter me.
I said that the other night. Fear equals failure. So nobody wants to walk around feeling like they're a failure, feeling like they are failing in life, feeling like they're doing anything like that. So the minute that you start to be afraid of something and have fear, you need to realize that that equals failure. So that ain't you, and move past all of that.
And so we can do.
What's going on out there on D Live? Not quite sure what your name is, but I ain't gonna repeat it. I might mess it up, but thank you for coming. I appreciate you dropping in the comments to let me know where you are calling from tonight. All right. So now we got a new book out, or new poetry project out. You want to tell us the name of it?
Um, the name of the poetry project is called The King of Hearts. Um, it's officially going to come out on June 8th.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so, maybe, have something to look forward to. June 8th. It's on a Sunday too, so, nice little wine and read depending on how you get down. You know what I mean? So, it should
So
definitely be like a dope experience. The feedback I've gotten so far from them has been amazing. Um, I think that's really all I've been like looking for, honestly.
so how does one become the king of hearts? Because some of us just haven't had the much luck when it comes to becoming the king of hearts. So what advice do you have for someone? How do you become the king of hearts?
Um, it's not even becoming the king of hearts. It's more so. I think I best broke it down because I was hosting a Q&A the other day on that urban word, um, and someone asked that, and I said, well, I feel like
Wait.
I am the king of
We need to get this right. You doing something wrong. I'm gonna just
what?
give it to you the way I know how to. You were sounding real crystal clear. You must be moving and doing something. Something ain't
All
right.
right, can you hear me now?
It's still like you in a hallway or something.
I'm trying to get. I got some key. I put
You
it on there. You can hear me? Can you good?
not like I did
Sound
before.
clear?
You out in the projects? What's going on?
No, I'm not in the project.
Sound like you in the hallway. What's going on here?
Nah, but you can hear me now?
I can, but when we first started, it was real crystal clear. But we'll
Uh,
handle whatever we.
yeah, yeah, but it's not how one becomes the king of hearts. It's more so just. I think the best way I explained it was saying that I've encountered so many women in my life, damaged, broken, with different experiences, and it's like I've come into their lives, them too as well, because I can't just say it was just me, where they heal you or I heal them, and it's like I feel like I can run a kingdom based on love. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds cliche, because like you said, what makes someone the king of hearts is just, you know, just being able to maneuver. I feel like I know heart the best. Like I feel like I know love the best. I
Hmm.
feel like I can get somebody to dig deep within themselves and bring the best out of them. Everybody says the world is yours, or the experience or expression goes, the world is your oyster. Well, the heart is mine. That's why I call it. That's why the project called King of Hearts. It's just a deep exploration into the deep dive of the human emotion and love itself. So, yeah.
I mean, with a title like that, I feel that you open yourself up to for some heartbreak. Was that accurate?
I
Would you?
wouldn't say that.
No.
I wouldn't say that. No, I would say you just open yourself up to the possibilities. Like, and that's the thing. Like, in life, you encounter heartbreaks and this, that, and the third, but it's about not robbing somebody else of the experience of you. You never
Ooh.
know. When you want to throw in the towel,
Okay. Okay.
that's
I
when that
like
one
that.
person comes along and then you're treating them like garbage. And there's only but so
Mm.
much that they can take naturally. And then
Mm-hmm.
you lose out.
You
The
said,
king of hearts is being at one with deep within your own emotion, being
yeah.
at one with your heart first before you could even attempt to heal somebody else's heart.
Mm.
Like that's what the king of hearts is. The king of hearts is this. Plus, I also have the thing for blackjack. So I also wanted to call it the king of hearts because of that as well. So,
I like that. You said don't rob anybody the experience of you. So many people do this, and this is so wrong. Like you were in a bad situation, right? And we've all done it before. I've done it before. You're like, yo, the next one, I ain't doing that. But the next one ain't getting, me 100%. I ain't going all the way in first. But that's the wrong thing to do because you could be robbing somebody the experience of you, and that person could be the right person for you, but you would never know because you ain't going in the right way 100%. So I agree. You have to make sure that you are
yeah,
good and you are whole 100%. because it's a storm, right? It could be a battle. You got to go in 100% so that you don't get completely destroyed. If you just got out of a fight, you just got out of a war, and you ain't repaired and your wounds ain't healed, what the hell would you go back in there for? So you have to lay low. You got to
Exactly.
stay put until you heal 100% and then try it again. And one thing that we never know when it comes to love, life in general, is that we are not fortune tellers. We're not supposed to know what happens. You're supposed to just go with the flow. And we have to get our minds into a place where we stop overthinking, stop putting expectations on people, expectations in our mind, like what we think somebody should be like, what we want someone should be like. So we put all these expectations, and they got to be this, they got to be that, they got to do this, they got to do that. And then when they don't meet up to any of our crazy expectations that we got in our mind, because our mind could take us to some crazy places, now we feel in a certain way
Yeah.
and we dogging people out and we, treating them a certain way. That's your expectations. That ain't that's not them. That's not what they are. That's not who they are. So you just don't overthink things. You just go with it. You just go with the flow.
Yeah, and I think to your point, like I think that's the hardest part in general. Like you know, a lot of people. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people listening right now. I'm pretty sure everybody could say, "Oh, I've been in love, right? I know what love is." But do you know how to sustain it? Do you? Then that means that you really don't know what love is
Wait, you
because you
said,
can't sustain it.
oh, you said, oh, do you know how to sustain it? Mm,
Yeah, because if you think about it, like I've encountered, plenty of women. It's like, oh, I know what love is. It's a feeling, and it's like also a feeling, but what else? Oh, but I've had it, and it's like, no, then you don't know what love is because you didn't take the extra time out to change it, to understand it. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just a different. When you reach a certain type of level within yourself, like you start looking at everything different. Like you try to cherish things more. And I think that
that is so true.
we are in such a euphoria chasing society. It's like we
Mm,
chase the high and then we let it go. Or some of us we chase it and we grab it and then we just ride it out. You know,
mm.
but like I said, I'm 26, so I know there's probably people in here older than me or whatever. But you know, that's the whole point. Like you really don't know what love is until you could really say like, yeah, man, like I'm mad. There's no such, you could be a master at one thing, but then know nothing.
Mm.
That's the expression my grandfather used to say. And you know, love is forever evolving, right? Some things, things are always changing. Love is really just a word. We bring a definition. You know what I mean? If a person really is in love with you, like no matter how extravagant, whatever, let's say you want to have an extravagant wedding. I don't know, Larry. I don't know. You want. I don't know what type of stuff that like you're into for your wedding, but it could be extravagant. That person that sits there come up with a budget for you. Like, listen, we could do this. We put such and such. It's a person you want to keep, but some of us, like you said, like we bring parts of our old relationship into the new one. You shut off access. You already shut off your access, and then you're coming into a relationship where the person is giving you nothing but open access. They're
Mm.
willing to meet you halfway, but they're so confused and warped because you already shut yourself off. You already made that assumption like, hey, I've been through too much, and it's like parts of you die, and I totally get that. I understand it, and I feel for that. But then it's like you're grown at the same time. Like don't you think your children deserve to truly experience you? Your
Mm.
family truly experience you? It gets deeper as you get older. I'm glad I'm learning this stuff while I'm young. You know what I mean? Like it gets deeper as
You
you
said,
get older. Like how many people you going to rob yourself of it and experience from? Because then that shit trickles down to your kids. Because then you don't like certain stuff, you'll try to make them not like it. That's toxic,
you
man.
know what? That just happens naturally. Like whatever your parents go through, if you don't get your mind right and you don't get positioned in a certain way, you're naturally going to repeat what they do, and unless you are 100% on track. And that's just real deep there. So as a parent, you got a responsibility to be like, listen, like my kids, my children, and this is everybody. Like we are the biggest fans of our parents. We look up to them. So there's a responsibility to do something a little bit different because you know that somebody's looking at you. When you look at it like that, and you realize that people are looking at you, you will start to straighten up and shape up and do things a little differently for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, even like since we even touching on that subject, is even deep. It's more deep rooted than that because you could grow up watching your parents get into a shitty relationship, right? And then years later, like you said, subconsciously you want to be your parents. Now you're dealing with this shit. You keep encountering people and you don't know why.
Yeah.
And it takes,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? Now you got to take the extra time to look deep within yourself and say, oh, shoot, okay. So
what?
this is,
Well, I talked about it. I talked about it. What was it, a week ago too? Like, what if you see something that your parents go through, right? And you know you don't like it, and you're like, oh, that ain't gonna be me. I'm not gonna do that. But you focus so much on what you don't want that you end up manifesting it anyway because that's what you put all of your time and energy into, focusing on what you don't want. So I know it's so, you know, eye opening that you don't want it. Cool, I get it. But the advice that I have for you all is focus on the things that you want and the things that you don't want. If you want something that's good, if you do it the right way, it will outweigh the things that you don't want. I've been the product of, oh, I ain't gonna have this shit happen. I don't want this in my life. This ain't gonna happen. I wake up every single day saying what I don't want to happen and focusing and putting too much energy into what I don't want to happen. And then what do you know? All of the shit that I didn't want to happen ended up happening because I'm putting too much time and energy into focusing on the negative stuff, the bad things that I didn't want. I had good intentions, but I just didn't know better that you can't do that. You can't put time, you can't put energy into a bad situation, into a negative situation. You can't think that way because whatever you think, that's exactly what's going to show up and be reality eventually. So, speaking of love, since the King of Hearts, speaking of love, if you want love in your life, you have to become love. You got to think love and you got to be love. Like, you attracting some toxic situations, you attracting some bullshit in your life, that's because that's what you are. And when you realize that you are not that, and you realize that you want something a little bit better, and you start thinking a little bit better, you will start to manifest the things that you want in your life, and it will come all full circle.
yeah.
That's just the advice that I have. I mean,
no, what you're saying is true.
I don't know
What
much,
you're saying is true.
but I changed my life in the past couple years, and I used to be so negative, so pessimistic, so down, this, that. This is never going to work. That ain't never going to work. And all of a sudden, I just started to think a little bit different, remove myself. When I was ready to throw in the towel, I said, nope, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go for a walk. We're going to listen to something that's more inspirational. We're going to listen to something that's uplifting. We're going to turn off the news. We're going to do this. We're going to do these certain things. And slowly but surely, I build myself back up to thinking more positive, and positive in, positive out, negative in, negative out. And we're here. I'm living proof of everything.
And like, it's an amazing journey, and I gotta give thanks to my grandfather for this because you know when he lost his wife like years ago before I was born, and he just wanted to give up.
Mm.
My mother told me like when I was born, that's when like he like became reborn again, and like he poured all of that onto me. So as I get older, even though I do have deep conversations with my mother and stuff, but she even said, she told me a couple times, like, where do you think like this deepness of love comes from? Why do you think it comes so easy to you? Like you had somebody pour into you, the foundation of the deepness. Like my grandfather, after my great grandma died, like he kept all her stuff in in the room. He refused to get rid of her stuff.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like up until he died like with her stuff in his room. He refused to let go, and it's like that's the type of love I want.
That's that
You know?
unconditional. I talked to you about that unconditional love. Like you don't give up
Yeah,
when it's real and it's unconditional. That means you don't give up. That means whatever circumstance is going on, however this person is treating you, whatever this person is doing, what you might feel that they're doing to you, because they ain't doing nothing to you. Um,
yeah,
but you might feel that because you might be in your feelings. That ego might
yeah.
step up and say, "Oh, I feel a certain way." But the unconditional part is through all of that, whatever it is, you still love that person the same exact way. There's no judgment. It says it in the Bible what love is, and it's no judging. It doesn't keep track, doesn't keep record. Like that's that unconditional love. Do we really love people unconditionally?
I
Some of
don't,
us,
I
we can
don't think
say
a lot of
no,
people do.
because you did this to me, so I'm gonna turn around and do this to you. Oh, you ran out and you did this, so I'm gonna run out and do that too. So, do we really know what love is? Like, but that unconditional love
I
is,
believe some do, not a lot. I don't believe a lot of people love each other unconditionally.
what the best, and I watched this movie um 2 weeks ago. I will tell you the best definition of unconditional love, which I've seen in a minute, would be Forrest Gump. Now, that would be a definition of unconditional love, Forrest Gump. Now, Jenny was off the chain, right? She was ripping and running,
Mm,
doing her thing. She pushed him away 1,000 times and said, "No, I'm gonna go and do me. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." But he was just so persistent in having some unconditional love for this woman, no matter what. And it ended up coming around full circle. But can most people go through that to get what they want in the end?
I don't. I believe. I believe it's possible. Um,
Oh, it's
I
possible.
believe it's possible,
It's possible.
but we also. I think you could agree with me on this. I also believe that when we get somebody new, because I've been guilty of it too. I didn't just reach this point of this, this vantage point in which I'm talking to. Like we, as a community, as a black community, have tendencies to put a person through hell to see if they're really down, to rob her. That is toxic as shit. Straight up. That is toxic. So
Mm-hmm.
we already start the relationship off on a bad note. Because, we're putting people through unnecessary shit to see if they will leave.
I don't know.
That's not healthy.
I don't do that. I mean, to you put
Well,
somebody
I
through
know people
something.
that have done it. I've been guilty of it as well. But, this is just me being honest. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm pretty sure there are people out there, even some people watching, like, yeah, I probably did. I purposely said such and such to get a reaction out of him. I wanted to see what he was going to do. I wanted to
Mm.
see if he was going to leave. But it happens, though. Like, this shit really happens, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we need to break that stigma because it's like not everybody's out to get you. Like, you can let people in, just be highly aware. Like red flags come in all types of signs. It's just like how in tune, which once again, why I call myself the king of hearts. How in tune are you with your own heart to see the flags? How in tune are you? You could invite people in, but at a distance. Like, yeah, so you only get to see Nate, right? My mother and everybody, they don't get to see Nate. They see, the little child that they grew up with. They call me by my nickname. Maybe if I'm on a closer level with you, you call me Nathaniel instead of Nate. That's everybody gets a different side.
Mm.
I categorize them. I knowingly do this because I'm not gonna put you through BS. It's just that, yeah, just call me Nate for now. And then if I feel like we can move deeper, I'll let you call me by my first name. And if we move deeper again,
Mm-hmm.
then obviously, I'll bring you around my family, and then you'll hear what they call me, and then you'll call me that. So then that's a different level of deepness, and then we'll go even deeper from there.
Right.
But I have these lines of defenses, not a line of defense where it's like I'm cutting somebody off that I might be depriving of an experience of me. It's just me being cautious because it's like, yes, you get a heart broken, you want to throw in the towel, but it's like, once again, you can't do that.
I feel
Some
you on
people are
that.
actually not out to get you. They're not out to get you.
So I'll tell you for me, like, listen, if you get an opportunity to speak to my mother, then you might be doing something. So if you ain't never had an opportunity to speak to her, then uh, keep working is what I gotta say. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, like that's all. But I think the way, because I don't know if you ever heard of this saying, like you meet somebody's representative up to 6 months. You don't really
Absolutely.
find out who a person is until about maybe like a year and a half.
Yes, 2 years. Like
You know,
they say you need to be
yeah,
very
maybe
they say you need to be very
2 years.
careful when you first meet people because when you first meet somebody and you have a crush on somebody, you like somebody, there's the hormones that get released in your body and your system that will almost mimic drugs. So whenever you see that person, you're high. You just high.
Yeah,
Y'all living it, y'all doing it, y'all connecting, y'all sharing, y'all doing a hell of a lot more. So both of y'all just high and like Beyonce said, drunk in love, right? So but after a while, like around the 2 year mark, those hormones start to settle off and they start to become normalized. So people who get married real quick within the first year and they wrap up into that love at first sight thing and they think that that's the one. A couple years from now, you wake up and you be like, "Yo, I'm not really feeling you the way that I was before," and that's fine because it's naturally going to happen anyway. But that's when you have to kick it up a notch and say, okay, so now what am I going to do to keep this thing exciting? What am I going to do to keep making this thing work? And when you become lazy and you take people for granted, now you got a problem. Now both of you feel in a certain way. You both might be disrespecting each other. You both might be taking each other for granted. This one might step out on this one. That one might step out on that one. And the next thing you know, we got the whole phenomenon that the whole world is going on right now, pretty much from from
yeah.
what I
No,
from
it's
my
true. Like
from my
what you're saying is
experiences.
true. It's so true, and I
But
don't think people understand like what we're talking about because it might be foreign to them. It's like really, this is like yeah, but this is what's going on. Like that's why like I tend to just be I'm always myself. It's like you meet me at first glance. This is me. This gives you the opportunity to walk away or stay. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And I think another problem is that people have that we don't give people time to grow. And granted, I understand people become impatient, but you also got to remember you weren't at the same level that you were at when you met this person. You know what I'm saying? You were at their level at
yeah,
some
yeah,
point.
yeah. You can
You get what
outgrow.
I'm saying? You can't force growth on a person. I think that's the problem. Like I've been in that relationship where you need to do this, that, and the third. And little did she know, she was grooming me to be the person that I ended up growing into. I just wasn't, you didn't give me a chance to grow. And that's the problem. Like, I know a lot of women get their time wasted. I know a lot of guys get their time wasted, but, let's just call a spade a spade. We're fucking impatient. Human beings are impatient. You know what I'm saying? Like, mastering patience is an art. It is an art. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Because you got to give people time to grow. Because to what we said, man, right? Let's say you meet that person out the blue, right? You're closed off, right? Well,
mhm.
you could be doing this, that, and the third. I need this, that, and the third. But if you don't give them opportunity, and then you see them go someplace else, because it always fucking happens. Tell me if I'm lying. They go someplace else, and now they're doing the stuff that you wanted them to do, but they just needed time to become that person.
And that's okay too. That's cool. But see, that's the difference.
Yes, that's
Is that
also okay, but we give up so easy. We live in such a now culture. That's the problem.
the best way that I could
Everything
say
is
it?
now.
The best way I could say it is don't put expectations on people. Don't give people ultimatums. If you want somebody to change, like let's say you're really feeling somebody and you want them to change, the best thing that you can do is change yourself. You can't change other people. So you might want, her to do this, or you might want her to, maybe go for this or go for that. But if he or she is not willing to do so, the only thing that you can do is change yourself. So when that person does back away, when that person does pull away, you on the other end, you can't get upset because remember, we can't control people, places, and things. So that's a decision on you. And guess what? If you get it together a year from now, 2 years from now, maybe y'all can come back and make it work the right way. It's all about having respect and learning that you can't control people and everyone is free to do what they want to do. I don't care how long y'all been together. You can been together for 10 years. Guess what? If tomorrow I wake up and say it's over, that's exactly what that means. It's over. And you have to respect that and understand that. That's one thing that I never knew how to do in the past. Like when people would tell me it's over, I would start to dig in the past, like, oh, yeah, it's over. Well, what about this? What about that? What about what I've done? What about this? What about that? Today, if somebody ever told me that, I've been like, what about it? That was yesterday. That was 5 years ago. That was 10 years ago. That was in the past. I'm living right here today in the moment. So, what do you mean about all of that stuff? I'm telling you right now that right now, the way I'm feeling right now is I'm not feeling this and this. It's over and I'm free to be me. So, when anyone tells you that it's over, I feel that there ain't no problem with that. That's just the way I think today. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree. I definitely agree with that sentiment, and
My
I
thing
think
is,
that's the beauty of everything.
please tell me the truth. Please tell me that it's over. Like when you left, some people leave a relationship, but they still in it and they play a game. Like I don't want all that. Like if you left mentally and you're not here, I don't even want the whole physical aspect of it because it's not even real. Like when you leave mentally, let me know so we can go ahead and do something a little bit different. Give me the opportunity to change something.
Yes,
So,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, just try. You get what I'm saying? And I think that to what we said, like it's just such a, it's just such a, it's just such a now type of thing where we don't even cherish development. You know what I'm saying? Development of a person. I can't tell you how many times I've been left with relationships and, now they're like, wow, like, you really turned into like, this person that I wanted. And it's like, it was always in me. You just didn't give a chance to flourish.
I hear you.
It's true. That's why you laugh because it's true. It's true.
But guess
It's
what?
true.
You didn't want to wait, right?
Everything is in all of us.
You didn't want to
Everything is
wait.
in all of us.
And now look at me
Yeah.
now. That's what you get because you didn't want to wait. You didn't want to see what it was about. So
And
hopefully
that's the thing. And then, they be so mad. And it's like, how could you be mad? You cannot be mad at that. You get what I'm trying to say? You cannot be mad because, just because you didn't want to wait doesn't mean I now have to stop what I'm doing just to come back. And I think that's where people feel entitled. And you got to let people know that, like, yo, I'm not a revolving door.
I will say this: if you have to dumb yourself down, if you have to lower yourself, if you have to take the back seat, and this is so important, if you got to walk behind somebody just to keep it going, that's for me. That's not for me. This thing gonna be 50-50. You gonna be able to do you. I'm gonna be able to do me, and we're gonna make this thing work. And we're gonna walk side by side, and we're gonna be, in tune and in step with each other. All that, you in the front, I'm in the back, this, that, next, the other. That's not working for me today. I don't know about y'all out there, but I ain't doing all that. And if you have to feel that you can't be yourself, and you got to dumb yourself down for somebody else. That's just toxic and stupid.
Yeah.
So
No,
now,
I don't think.
what I do want you to do is let everyone know where they can get this project when it comes out, where they can follow you at.
You can get it at Urban Word, at Urban Word NYC. We are in the process of trying to get it published through Urban Word. If not, 9 times out of 10, I'll probably have it on like one of those websites, the link tree. I'll put the link in the description. It'll be for free. I'm not looking to make a profit off of it because I believe there's messages and this project is very deep. And I believe everybody needs to hear it. I'm not charging for it.
I think you should. That's just my personal opinion because I read some of it, and I think you should. But it's all good. I get it. When you first start off, I get it, but it'll all come around full circle.
Oh yeah.
So now, I want to take you to Burning Questions, a segment in the show where I'm going to put you on a hot seat and ask you a question that basically, typically, it has nothing to do with what we're speaking about, but lately, my burning questions have just been so in sync with our conversation. So, after you've been through it, right? After you've been through the storm, you've been in a bad relationship. Maybe you've been in a good relationship. Hopefully, you've been in a good relationship and you both have come to the opportunity to speak like adults and say, I love you. I respect you. I know you. You are my friend, like a best friend. But you want this and I want that. So we're going to go our separate ways, but we're going to remain cordial with each other. After you've done that and you get an opportunity to reinvent yourself, what would be some of your accomplishments that you would want to run for? So let's say you got a second chance, third chance, whatever, some of us fourth chance. But now you have an opportunity to reinvent yourself and become the person that you want to become. What would be some of your first accomplishments?
I wanted to reinvent myself and become the person that I wanted to become. That's a really good question.
Oh yeah, because there's a trick. There's a trick to it at the end. So answer wisely.
Not always.
Let's say today you
Honestly,
could reinvent yourself today. You can reinvent yourself. What would be some of the things that you want to do?
honestly, I don't think I would. I I appreciate everything I've been through, even the worst parts of my, of me just going through things. Like I wouldn't trade it for the world because it molded me into what I am. Like to erase something from my past and start over would mean erasing part of my soul. Because
Okay.
we thrive off experience.
Mhm.
I've experienced so much. I've experienced so much life within 26 years. I don't think a lot of people could say they have. You know what I mean? Like just mentally where I'm at for my age. I was always like this, but people think I'm older than what I am. And I tell them I'm 26, they look shocked.
You know,
Because I've experienced everything pretty much. Only thing I really haven't experienced I probably have to say was like any like real severe trauma. Thank God for that. But
I was about to say, yeah.
I wouldn't want to reinvent myself, and because the course I'm on is what I'm meant to be on right now, and the person that I am now, and my thought process, because who knows yourself better than yourself, right? And how my thought process is now, I know it's only going to become more elevated. So I wouldn't wait till I am. That would possibly mean not meeting you. That would possibly mean not meeting the people I've encountered that got me to this point. That would mean, certain things where I wasn't supposed to be, now where I am, but put me on a totally different path. So I wouldn't want to change anything.
All right. I can respect that. That's a great answer. I thought you were going to answer a little bit differently, but I understand that you are a very wise person. So that is that's a great answer. That really is. Because, we ain't really supposed to try to change things. So I got you. I got you. So now, out of this, I'm just scrolling through, I'm looking. What's one of your favorite pieces from this? How many poems do we have?
Um, there is officially 9 poems.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say which one is my favorite. Um, I don't really have a favorite because each one of them contains such a powerful message, and I don't. It's hard for me to choose, but from what people have been reading, a lot of people tell me the first one, which is a heartthrob that fell to earth, and a pair of hearts, and Jesus, what's the other one?
We got Heal Me.
Heart.
We got Cater to Your Needs. We
and
got
Heartthrob. That's another one.
We got Pair of Hearts. We got Don't Let Me Get Gone.
That's another one. Yeah. But everybody loves the heartthrob that fell to earth. Heal Me, Cater to Your Needs, and the heartthrob, Pair of Hearts. Love is Bliss.
Love is Bliss. I was looking at that one. I was like, okay. That's some of the things I saw. Well, this is a different kind. Okay, I got you.
It's hard for me to choose, honestly. I don't have a favorite, but those are the ones that are getting the most people. The project is being received very well, so that's just a plus. But, a lot of the people like just, they like it all, but they don't, it's hard to decipher a favorite because even like with the first one, is it's kind of like a double entendre and also a nod to my childhood. So, like the heartthrob that fell to earth. I don't know. I might be getting a little bit. I might be telling my age. It doesn't matter.
Well, you the oldest. You the oldest person up in here tonight. You said you're 27 years old. So, and you older.
No, I'm 26, man.
26. You older than everybody in here because I'm only 21. So,
That's right, man.
I just started learning how to drink. So, thank you for that, sir.
But like the first one is a nod to my childhood because growing up, my grandfather, he was always into like, I was a child, so we used to watch the movie called The Iron Giant. First of all, it's a great movie. I recommend. Great watch. It's about this robot that falls to Earth and he befriends a child, and then he has to leave the child at the end of the movie or whatever. But there's also a nod to my grandfather and my childhood because, and also in life, someone could fall from, just metaphorically speaking, someone could just drop into your life, right?
Don't I know that? That's so true.
You know what I'm saying? So this is literally a triple entendre in a sense. It's a nod to my childhood, and also a nod to the movie, but also a nod to people in life because it's like people who just drop, unexpectedly into your life and just change your life around. The whole point of that was, so even in the beginning, like I came from a planet far away. I was sent here to be by your side, and I heard your call from light years away, and I fell down to earth for you.
Listen, if only you knew. So they're asking for you. What's going on, Will? I see Lamia. Thank you so much. Let everyone know where they can follow you at. I know what it is, but I want you to tell everybody where they can follow you at.
You guys can follow me at Nate Perry Photography, or you can follow me at Young Rico Suavemente. That's my personal page.
So,
if you want to follow my photography page, it's Nate Perry Photography.
So for those of you that don't know, this gentleman right here has created the cover of my book, My Inspirations, Volume 1.5, Deliberation. I don't know what was going on that day because I was in a whole nother world and magic was created. And I just want to say thank you. Like, I've known you for what, 2 years now?
Oh,
Think it's 2, 3 years. And
3 years, man. 3 years.
yeah, and when I say somebody who respects and understands, see, I can't fuck with a lot of people because a lot of people don't understand what's going on here. So I have to, mix well with people who understand me. And when I say comfortable, I mean I work with many photographers. I had people dress me up, put this on, put that on, do this, do that, and pose this way, pose that way. I've had all of that happen. And the pictures just don't come out right because I don't feel comfortable with the person that I'm working with. But with you, we just take it to a whole nother level. So I knew right then and there, we talking about someone from Brooklyn, New York. Okay, come on now. That y'all see what goes on here on the 411. Y'all understand who I am. But someone who can respect, and it's just all love, man. You are like from a different planet. Like, so King of Hearts that you are, with that title, man, it you're gonna go through something. But
Yeah,
I will have
I'm
to
just
tell you
thankful to.
that you're
Yeah,
gonna go through something. You just have to be patient and you have to wait because it's gonna come on the other side. You just don't know when and you don't know how. You just gotta deal with it. Like, it sucks, but unfortunately, you gotta deal with it.
yeah.
Because
Listen, thank you, man.
you know how to accept people. You know how to look at people from a different aspect. So with that,
Yeah,
some people will see that gift in you and they will start to flock to you. So now you got to be a little more careful and be able to see if this person is here for good intentions or have you been sent here to rock my world and shake me up a little bit because I'm greatness. That's how you got to look at it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And thank you for telling me that, man. It means a lot. And I just it's like you said, like I'm just myself. Like I don't ever want to make somebody feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I don't ever want to make somebody feel uncomfortable. So,
Cause
I
that,
just,
listen, if
I
you,
treat everybody like a human. I don't treat nobody like an object. And I think that shocks a lot of people. Because it's like, wow, like he's not out for. I'm like, no, I'm not out for anything. Like, if anything, and this might sound profound too. Like, if anything, I'm like, I'm seeking connection, like Robin Williams. I need to connect. Just connect. It doesn't have to be, a cash grab. It doesn't have to be me using to advance. So, like, I thrive on connection. Like, that's all I need is just a connection. Like, even if it's just like us talking for like 15 minutes on the phone, like, just making sure that everybody's okay is my number one priority. And, sometimes it's not always reciprocated, which is fine because I don't look for that. But I strive for connection because I want to be the person that enters into someone's life, whether it's yours, somebody that's listening right now, or someone else, and it's like, yo, that Nate Perry right there, he's different. He is the reason why he's one of my inspirations as to why I don't give up. He's been through so much
right.
that he didn't throw in the towel. He kept pushing. He motivates me. You know what I mean? Or even in like other relationships, like yeah, it's like I spoke about it with you earlier. I have a line in the project where I was like, I want to minimize you saying, that you forgive me because if you move on and someone else wants to explore your hurt and try to heal your hurt, I don't want to be the face that pops up into your mind.
Mm.
I try to minimize those interactions. I'd rather sit down and talk, or I walk away, because I try to separate my emotions from the response. I want to be the one that you go, you know what? I let him get away.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what I want. I want to be the one to obviously stay, obviously, but if it doesn't go the way it's supposed to, I want someone to look back and like, damn, I really let me go.
No,
Why
but
would
you
I
know
do that?
what? Realize that it went exactly how it was supposed to go. Because if that don't work,
Yeah,
right, you get out the way. Just get out the way. And if it don't go
yeah,
the way you thought it was supposed to go, just be like, thank you so much for revealing everything that you needed to reveal to me because this wasn't supposed to be. See, we suffer and we hurt when we try to make things work the way we want it to work. Now today, if it break down, if it fall apart, and I know that I'm being genuine and I'm being sincere, it just wasn't meant to be. And I'm cool. This is an experience right now. And my experience with you is done. When you start thinking like that, realize that if you are a good person and remember you are showing love the right way and you ain't being manipulative and you ain't being disrespectful and you ain't doing anything crazy about people, you loving people the right way. This experience is over
yeah.
and that's cool that it's over. I'm glad that I was able to experience you. Hell, if you was good, the next one is gonna be great. That's how I think today. I don't know. I'm just different. Just like you different, I'm different too. I think so different today.
And that's the beauty of it, because we're all separate entities. You know what I mean? Like, we all bring different stuff to the table. Like, my goal. I remember in high school, like when they ask you like what you want to be and like where you see yourself in 10 years.
Hmm.
Um, I remember, saying that I don't want fame. I don't want a whole lot of money. I just want to leave my mark on someone, so that way people understand that I existed in this time.
That's real
That
deep.
was my high school goal.
That's real
That
deep.
was that was at that was at 18 years old. I just want to leave, because there's so much toxicity in this world, and it's like for someone to just be the bright spot for somebody. That's all
Mm.
somebody needs. You know what? Nate will never leave my corner. You know what? Nate. You know what? Nate does try. Like, I want to make it hard for someone to leave. Even like when it comes to relationships, like, let's just say for some reason you have a pros and cons list. I wanna make it so that it's so hard for you to leave. You can't write down any cons. You're gonna leave, it's just gonna be because, like, you know what, fuck it, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if there's no cons, cool. There's no cons, and you still want to leave, and it's fine. But I want to be the person that enters in a female's life that makes it hard. Where it's like, yo, shit, he treats me good. He doesn't complain. He doesn't like to raise his voice. He likes to talk things out. He knows when to walk away if he's getting angry. He knows how to talk to me. He's aware of what he's saying when we're in heated arguments. He tries not to go out my way and hurt my feelings during the argument. Like, these things matter.
So
You know
now
what I'm
after
saying?
you,
Like, because, you know how it goes. You get into an argument, you say something that you're not meant to say. That sits on the subconscious, because then when you get into an argument again, you'll bring it up. And then the next argument, something else will get said, and
we
then they
not
bring it up.
we not
And
even
then
going
the
there.
relationship just spirals.
We're not even going there. But I know exactly what you mean. So we're not even doing that. Um, and trust and believe that all that stuff will come to pass. Like you might have said it 6 months or you know whatever you say about somebody, and trust and believe that's going to come to pass. That tongue is very powerful, so you got to be very careful. All right, we ain't even gonna get
Yeah.
into that tonight, but um, we're not even gonna do it because I done said some things in my life, and I look up now and I'm like, yep, I remember that. Here we are. We here. Um, so I just want to say thank you so much for coming through. This is a great week for me. I'm getting ready to go on this journey, and thank you for helping me continue to get my mind right and stay on the right track. All nothing but reminders of how we're supposed to be living and how we're supposed to be doing things when it comes to interacting with people because we all are separate like you said and we can make choices and decisions to do whatever we need to do to make it work for us. So, King of Hearts, you said is coming out when?
June 8th.
June 8th. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you. This summer, we're going to work together again on the next
I can't wait,
chapter.
Man.
So I can't wait to make this thing work, because 1.5 was definitely.
Shout out where y'all can find me again. Y'all can find me at Nate Perry Photography or on my personal page at Young Rico Tuaramente. Let me just give a shout out to Larry. Thank you for having me on. Also, my brother, who's probably either watching this from my page or something, because I'm actually in the studio right now. So shout out to my brother Justin. You can follow his Instagram at JKnowledge. And shout out to my brother B at This Is B Star at Instagram on Instagram. So shout out to those guys, man. They're doing their thing too, poets and also dope MCs.
Okay, so that's what all the noise were. You at work? You working?
No, I'm not. No. I'm not at work. I'm in the studio, and we're just going over like how we're gonna roll this thing out right now. A nice quiet space. So, me and my manager just working on how we're gonna roll this out. I will be doing open mics this summer, so when anything pops up,
that's
I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah, that's definitely a good look. I like that for you. I see that.
Yeah, it's definitely, this project, I think this project is going to change a lot of people's lives. I can't wait to share with y'all there, and definitely let me know what you think if you read it completely, man. Like, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it.
No doubt. Thank you so much for coming through. Appreciate you. And
of course,
I'll be seeing you soon.
All right, brother.
All right. See ya. All right, y'all. There you have it. My brother, Mr. Nate Perry. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you all to everyone out there. Thank you to my cousin. I appreciate you. I see you out there. Again, if you would like to support Reading Between the Lines or the 411 podcast, please go ahead and click that link above. All of my social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, DLive, Twitch, Daily Motion. Click that link above and go inside of Volume 1.5 Deliberation Remix Journal. Mr. Nate Perry was a photographer that did all of that. He's real dope. And listen, check him out, support him. He writes, does photography, does a lot of different things, and he has a story to tell. So as I continue to go on my journey, I pull together people who support me and rock with me, like Nate Perry, K. Cole, all of the people who, Carol Cordera. Like, these are names that as I continue to evolve and continue to do what I do here every single night, these names are not going away, because I remember the people who supported me from day one. And you're going to hear a lot more from these people, because I pull people up and I support people who support me. So for those of you out there for supporting me, I just want to say thank you so much. But of course, I have to thank my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and speak this real talk and give you this real talk from the bottom of my heart. Without him allowing me to get the strength, the courage, the wisdom, the words to be able to speak, we wouldn't even be doing this. And of course, you all wouldn't even be here as well. So I got to give credit where credit is due. And I just want to say thank you so much to everybody out there that supports. Tomorrow, we have my brother, we stand in Brooklyn, Mr. Joe Calico from Crazy Capital Media. I want to say thank you to Crazy Capital Media for putting me on the map as well, for supporting as well the 411 podcast. And we got some great things coming and some great collaborations. So Joe Calico is coming in as well. And I have to let you know that tomorrow probably will be a long break. I've been waiting, I've been holding. I didn't want to say too much because, I don't want to get too much and fool myself and get in the way. But I am getting ready to go on a journey outside of the country. First time that I will be going outside of the country. So we're going to come to a little standstill for a little bit on a 411 podcast and reading between the wines. But it's all good because this is a life changing experience. And when I come back, we definitely gonna have so much stories to share. So, best thing that I could say is just keep checking me out, check out my stories. I'll post some things and take you all on this journey as well. But we're just gonna leave it at that. Leave it at that right now because it's still, like I said, I'm in a dream. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out. But thank you all for supporting. Tomorrow is going to be the last show. We're going to close it out with Joe Calico. And when I say last show, I mean last show for just a minute. We're going to go on a little pause. I'm going on a little vacation, and I'll be back sometime in June. But sampling Le Rose, French wine. It's that French fizz. Thank you all so much. Feeling really good night. Feeling really good tonight. Y'all understand that this wine is really getting me right where I need it. Hey, listen. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My brother, Joe Calico from Crazy Capital Media coming in, and we're going to have a good time tomorrow. We still going to sip up tomorrow as well. Even though it ain't reading between the wines, we still going to sip up a little bit tomorrow just to celebrate. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Take care, y'all. Have a good night.